Hi, I'm Gianna Parrella, and I'm going to be showing you an example. Here's our equation 4/8 x minus 8 equals 2, and first we need to decide how to isolate the variable. In order to get x by itself, first we need to get rid of the negative 8 by adding 8 to both sides of the equation. Now we are left with 4/8 x equals 10. We must use the inverse operation of multiplication and divide 4/8 in order to isolate the variable and do the same thing with 10. Once x is by itself, we must do the same to 10 and divide by 4/8, and then we find the value of x, which in this case is 20.
Rules and concepts. The domain can't repeat. A linear function must be a straight line. There are 4 types of slope: positive, negative, undefined, and 0. The y-intercept is when y equals 0, and x is when x equals 0. There are 4 different formulas: slope-intercept, rate of change, point slope, and standard form.
Hi, I'm James and I'm going to be graphing this function. So the first step is basically what I like to do first is write y equals mx plus b on top just so I can, it helps me out. That's a good strategy to do. Second, this is going to be your y-intercept. So we're going to take 2 and put it on the table. So that's your starting point there. And then what you do with the other 2, and this can be any number, you would take it and put it over 1. And then that is now up 2 over 1. So you would go from 2 and go up 2 over 1 and continue on and do that for the rest of the graph.
Take your time. Why?
That was a mistake.
Oh, do you not want me here?
You go up 2 over 1 for up to the top of the graph. And you always want to have your graph labeled. So that's basically how you graph it. And you can put a line through it because it is a linear function. So, alright, that's basically how you do it.
This is the example of 3x equals x minus 6. You have to subtract x from each side, which will even out both sides. Then it is 2x equals negative 6. This will make it a lot easier. Then you divide by 2 each time, getting the x alone. X equals negative 3, and that's the answer.
Hi, it's Gianna again, and I'm going to be explaining the difference between rational and irrational numbers. Rational numbers has terminating decimals. They are decimals with repeating patterns. Rational numbers can be written as a fraction. Irrational numbers are non-terminating decimals. They're decimals without repeating patterns. So it's kind of like numbers that just are random. And also, a little fun fact is that pi is an irrational number. There's an inequality rule also. When solving an inequality, it's just like solving an equation, but whenever we multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. There are also steps to solve a linear equation. The first step is to distribute. The second step is to combine like terms when it's on the same side of the equal sign. The third step is to add the opposite of the variable to get the variables on the same side. The fourth step is to move the constant using addition or subtraction property of equality. The fifth step is to move the coefficient by using multiplication or division property of equality. There are also steps for solving a linear equation using substitution. Credits to Miss Carter for these rules. The first step is to solve one of the equations so that one of the variables is isolated. The second step is to replace this new equation into the other equation. Now you have one equation in one variable. The third step is to solve for one variable. The fourth step is to place the variable that was solved for into one of the original equations. The fifth step is to solve for the second variable. And finally, for the sixth step, you have to check it.